Hey, welcome everyone to Shop-Ware's Educational Forum. It's our number 3 for 2022. Good to have you here. Our plans are to talk about having fun growing your business. And I'm sure one of the things that has always helped you grow your business is Shop-Ware and a great piece of software. I mean, my God, what an incredible company, growing company led by Carolyn Cocolette. And I'm sure everyone knows Carolyn. But anyway, good to have you all here. I have a great panel. Our topic is have fun and grow your business. Man, look at all the smiles that I got. So maybe this means that we are going to actually have fun with this webinar. If you're hanging with us, give us a high five, check in. We can see your comments here inside the studio. And if you don't get a chance to watch this live, watch it anytime. It'll always be in the Shop-Ware Facebook feed. Hey, welcome Jamie Carlson from Irvine's Auto Repair. Hello, Jamie.
Hello, Carm. Thanks for having me today.
Oh, I'm glad to have you here. I have a laundry list of great accomplishments of yours. The Woman in Auto Care Female Shop Owner of the Year. What was that, 2019, I think?
2019.
2019. The Auto Care 2021 Shop Owner of the Year. The 2018 ACE Auto Care Career and Education winner. And Eric, her husband and partner, I'm sure Megan's partner there too. The ASE Annapolis Technician of the Year multiple years in a row. Wow. You guys are on fire. I don't think
love what we do.
I don't think there's an award you guys haven't won. And so congrats on that. And then
Publishers Clearinghouse called me at lunch today.
And
I said, I'm looking out front. You got the big check?
Did you get it?
No.
Darn. Well, okay. You can't win them all. Megan Dinov, it's Jamie's daughter, Auto Care's Impact Award winner for 2020. They call it 4 for the Future. And the Ratchet and Rent 2019 All-Star winner in the admin support category. Wow.
It's been fun.
So do you have a shelf in the shop and, all the awards are up there? And
Well, Mom has a couple. Well, I'm pointing to her in my screen, but she has some behind her. I've got one here and one here that you can't really see. But yes, now that we have a new place to put things, we will have them settle somewhere all together. We just don't have that space yet since construction isn't quite done.
Congrats. You guys, so deserving to be here with us. Russell McLeod is also with us. Accurate Automotive Attention, 3 stores in Yuma, Arizona. Hey, Russell.
Good morning. And afternoon elsewhere, I guess.
Yeah. The Yuma Best Auto Repair Shop, 20 years running.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a local contest put on by the local newspaper. And we've been very successful and very happy with that. Yeah.
And
proud of that.
50 years in business.
52 and counting. It'll be 53.
52. Oh my God. I gotta write that down.
Yeah, I do 53 in the end of October 30th.
I do terrible math. We also have another guest, and when he joins us, we're going to bring him on. Listen, everyone here has Shop-Ware, and we're here to talk about having fun marketing and growing your business. Now, you've come here to learn that. And having fun and growing your business, I kind of took some notes that I know we're going to cover. Fun happens only because you make it so. Right? I'm not sure that there are fun things waiting to come to your business. I think it's all part of your internal and what you put out to your peoples. And so your culture has a lot to do with it. Your community embrace has a lot to do with it. Your people's involvement, not only in the company, but what they do in their world on the outside of the business, and any initiatives that you work with your people in the community. Your marketing, obviously, and that's one of the things that I think we hopefully will highlight. And your efforts to create and build loyal customers, I think, is all still about having fun and creating a great business. And finally, your business partnerships. And that would be with, for example, Broadly, Kukui, and Shop-Ware. And look, we're going to talk a little bit about Kukui and Broadly here today, too. And I do know that Jamie Megan and our guest, if Vinny does show up and he's having some technical difficulties, they both use Kukui and Russell uses Broadly. So we'll have a chance to
Right.
talk about all of that today. So everyone, let me just throw this one particular idea out at you, Jamie. What kind of promotions are you doing that have fun inside the company?
Well, I think I don't think of it as fun, but you mean for our employees or for our customers?
Okay, both. Yes.
Okay. Well, I'll take employees because they're kind of my first choice. Um, I think like even at our boring weekly meetings at the end, they have to pay attention and there's some number that was mentioned. So they all guess a number and whoever gets closest to the right thing that I've written down draws an envelope and they get money. Um, and while it was hard for me to start having meetings because I just thought that was just so corporate and it's just us. But I think it's really it's surprising some of the things that will be mentioned. But the very most fun thing was that one of our fantastic technicians, him and his wife absolutely love Kid Rock. So the week we made sure he won, and when he opened the envelope, it was just to save the date for the concert, and we all went. So I mean, it was just like I love surprising them with, and it's not usually things that big, but it was just he just walked around that day, and he even said to Eric, "Who does this? Did anyone ever do this for you?" And he just had a huge grin all day, and I love that.
So I've got to stop for a moment and maybe we can have this little mini learning curve about meetings. You said it's so corporate-y. How do you really engage as a small business person with maybe a staff of 3 to 5 or 6, really bring that camaraderie together in meetings?
Well, I think we just had to start doing it. And it's on Tuesdays at 12:45. So if you want to go to lunch early so you can be back there, typically everyone eats lunch here though. It's just 10 or 15 minutes. And it's just quick things that we go over. Rarely is it about numbers. There's been a lot of stuff with construction, but it's also their opportunity to say, I couldn't find this in the shop, or could we rearrange this, or how about this piece of equipment that maybe if you're not intentional about it, some of the quiet people don't mention it. And there might be something that would really make their work life better or more efficient. But if there's not an intentional time to bring that up,
Yeah.
it doesn't happen. We also have a management meeting that's half of our staff because it's Megan and our service advisor and Eric and I, which is really just to kind of get ready for the other meeting. And that always seems silly to me too. It's like, why are we wasting this time? I don't think it's a waste of time. I think it's been quite constructive for us.
Excellent. Russell, fun stuff. I mean, legacy business, you're a great guy. People love coming to your place with all the awards you're winning. Talk to me about the whole fun aspect of your place.
Well, I like to tell the staff it's okay to have fun at work, and we do a lot of joking around and having a good time. I meet weekly with the our service advisors, but as far as the techs, we go to lunch once a month and discuss, whatever might be going on. And but I take them all out to lunch, and we have a good time. The camaraderie is great when you have lunch like that.
Hmm.
Take them out to lunch. I love that part. I love that part. Well, we lost Megan somehow, so we'll tough through this thing. And
I'll be right back.
so online marketing, Russ, let me just go back to you. Tell me about what you're doing.
Well, let me start with what I'm not doing. Now, what I'm not doing is trying to do it myself with the advice of a well-meaning friend, and he was kind of in that industry for a while. When I was referred to a young lady who this is her profession. Oh my gosh, I found out I was throwing away so much money. Yeah, I was getting a lot of results, a lot of hits, but they were for insurance. Just almost all of the hits when she showed me how to dig down and figure out where it was all coming from, were they weren't looking for our company. They were looking for something else. We are throwing money away. So now, I let someone who's good at it handle it, and I think the investment is good. I do have had cards made up that are a discount at our car wash, a free car wash, or $10 off your next visit. And on that card, we give that to new customers. And there's a tear off on the end, so they keep the large part with the offer on it. And the tear off is, how did you hear about us? So it's for first time customers. So, it was the internet, TV, newspaper, word of mouth, referral, or driving by. And, as you can imagine, the internet pops up a lot. And reviews, of course, as you can imagine, pops up a lot. We read your reviews. Anecdotally, we hear that at the counter as well. So that's where the bulk of our marketing is right now, is with online.
Let's stop for a moment and catch that review piece, Russell. I think you used Broadly to help you with that, right?
Oh, I did. Yes, extremely. I'm a fan of Broadly. I can tell you that.
Well, let me stop you for a minute and just tell you all that Broadly is free for Shop-Ware customers. It's called Broadly Free. You can bridge the gap between business and online reputation management. It includes 25 automatic Google review requests and insights from your brand's performance on your dashboard. And there's Vinny. Sorry, I'm late. That's a great last name, Vinny. Thank you for that. But yeah, Russell, reviews are so critical to do stuff with.
They are. And I can tell you, I laugh a little bit. I get these phone calls. Hey, we can remove your negative Google reviews. And so I'm like, why? Well, they're bad. I'm like, no, I need negative reviews. And it throws them for a loop every time. They just don't understand. But negative reviews are just, of course, you don't want a lot of them, but they're extremely important. They're almost more important than the good reviews, because the company or the potential client can see, how do you respond to that negative review. And so I wouldn't call it an art form, but you have to really think about it, right? You
Got it.
acknowledge the complaint, depending on what it is. But what you don't want to do is try to be defensive, or, no, that's not what happened. And, we told you, and, go away. That doesn't work at all. And the very best response to a negative review is if you've been able to identify who the client is and contact them before you respond. Whether or not that conversation goes well, your review can start with, "Thank you for taking my call. Blah, 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 blah." Either, "We worked it out and it's great. I appreciate the opportunity," or, "Sorry, we couldn't come to an agreement, but I appreciate your time." I mean, what more
Excellent.
can anybody ask?
And by the way, I think we're almost coming up to a new term in the industry called recovery. Whereas if we have an issue, we have a complaint, have a problem, bad review, what's our process system, our culture and attitude over recovery? Vinny has joined us, Vinny Lucido. I will introduce him, Co-Auto in Reno, Nevada. He calls himself a different repair shop, right, Vinny? And
That's right.
there he is. Now we got him. And he pairs with Arbor Day Foundation. We're hearing a little bit of a feedback right now. And really cool, the 2018 Facility of the Year from Vision High Tech Training and Expo. Hey, Vinny, glad you could join us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Sorry, I'm on the road. It's been a struggle just to get somewhere that this could all work out. I've been traveling, so.
Well, I'm so glad you joined us. By the way, you do something special with reviews. I mean, you make sure you put them up in social, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we share them on social media as much as we can, and try to get that shared as well. If my staff can help share that, then we're asking them to do that as well.
So since and Megan, I want to get back to you next, but I'll just let Vinny do a little catch up. Any special crazy promotions that you do about having fun in the business?
Yeah, we consider the seasons quite a bit when it comes to promotional aspects. So just really trying to have fun with seasons, and commercials, and play those together, and really integrate what we're looking at. We have what we call beat the heat. So we try to beat the heat with the weather. Everywhere you live, there's going to be a different need, and so that's what we're trying to find, is what each need is.
What's Beat the Heat about?
Beating the heat.
Well, beat the heat. The AC special. So um, we like to offer that simply to get people in for to consider us as their AC specialist, and it saves them about $150. And the idea with that is if we can gain them as an air conditioning client, then we can likely keep them as a client for their maintenance and oil services as well.
Excellent. And Megan, I'm sure you're doing some of the online, probably all of it at work. Any great tips that you can give us, Megan?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the biggest things is just to be consistent. I find that as long as we're posting, and sometimes that comes with Kukui posting our reviews. They throw those up online on Sundays for us. Just being consistent is incredibly important. I think it helps you get seen more, but then also your customers or future customers are used to seeing you, and they can just kind of count on you posting things. Um, as far as that goes, one of the best things to do that I have found for us is posting pictures of what's happening here of our people. So, not necessarily our specials or our reviews, but pictures of our family. Or when we had our car show, the pictures that got the most likes are the technicians and just the families who are here. So, letting people know who we are through social media has, I think, helped customers and potential customers get to know us without ever stepping foot in the door.
I think she said something huge that we really should dig into, Jamie. I mean, people want to know more about you and Eric and Megan and the team rather than, okay, we got a special going on, or there was this really cool,
Mhm.
neat new car coming in. And I think we as an industry need to step up and into that.
Mhm. And when Megan was saying that, it was just our anniversary. So Megan, she got so much interaction on this post. And at first I was kind of feeling defensive for her because there was a typo. We were not married in 1897. But I would slip that in later because how much engagement went back and forth. And it's like, wow, you guys look great. And I mean, there were so many comments on it, but that I don't know if that would work for everybody, but that's who we are. We're people, far more than we are car people. That's I think Megan and I love our jobs because we love helping people. So far more about people, customers or causes that are, that are people. That's just kind of where our heart is, and we're lucky we get to promote that.
I think our industry, look at you guys figured this out, but there's still an awful lot of shop owners out there that haven't. And to realize what you just said, Jamie, we're a people business. And we want people to do business with us because we're a people business, and people want to do business with people they know, like, and trust. What a cool way is to say, they were married here, typo or not. I mean, Vinny's place, Russell's place, you guys are in the people business. And well, first of all, that's why you're here. We want to get this story told about having fun growing your business. And I think the subtitle should be just be real people.
Hmm.
As I wait for some replies.
Well, the old saying, people like doing business with people, right?
People they like. Yeah.
Hmm. And the better the camaraderie you have, the easier that trust is to build.
Absolutely.
Well, and I think like when we bought Irvine's in 1994, I was the technician's wife who did the books as far as anyone knew. But we've evolved. You have to, and I think it's also made a lot more careers in this industry, but people want more than just to come into a dirty shop and talk to a gruff mechanic who's really much better at fixing vehicles than they are at dealing with people. And I'm glad because I like this job.
Has Eric ever given you an indication that he may not be happy with you doing your job?
No.
Then you'll never have to worry about your job.
No,
You'll love
I
your job,
I do
yeah.
payroll. I don't have to worry about
I
anything.
love it. I love it.
Nobody else knows how to process
Don't
it.
tell him this, but she's the majority owner. He's the one in trouble.
I got it. Oh, that's really good. One of the things I thought about, Jamie, was you've got all this paper around you, and you're doing payroll, you're scratching your head, calculator in front of you, and you take a picture of it and it says, "This is my exciting, glorious job." And I'm sure you're going to get all kinds of comments because that's bringing the people's side, not only having fun in the business, but getting that. I say the word relationship, but people relating to, says, "Wow, Jamie's doing the same thing I am. She's buried in paperwork all day or all week or something like that."
Or
It's
I
a, it's
was
a
out
great,
blowing the parking lot for 3 hours because it's of the construction mess and we were having our car show. It's like ownership is very glamorous.
yes, exactly, perfect. And Vinny, you know how to do that stuff out at your place.
Yes, we do.
Talk to us, work us through some of the great things that you guys do.
Well, so the co within community, our co within co auto represents community. And with that, we do a lot. We have high school internship programs. Just hired my 16-year-old high school intern, and now she's doing our quality control, female in the industry. We do women's car care clinics and car care clinics for new student drivers. Uh, give cars to local veterans in need every year. We give a car to a local veteran. We also have a waiting room that's an art gallery, rotating out local artwork and just giving space for local artists to get exposure is typically what they need. And every oil service we perform, we have a tree planted in your honor through the Arbor Day Foundation. So those are the programs that we do, but even beyond that, we have all kinds of events. Just having fun at the shop, getting people involved. I take my staff to different events and concerts and such, just to keep them excited. But yeah, we just like to change what people think of as auto repair and
Yeah.
change that dynamic and that perception.
Vinny, you use Kukui. How important is it to you?
Kukui is very important. I really enjoy the company. I enjoy what they offer, and it helps me as an owner be more hands off. That's been my goal since ownership is really to take over and just be hands off and allow my crew and staff and third party companies to help direct that. And Kukui is one of those third party companies that really gives me a lot of time and freedom as an owner.
Such a great point. Vinny and I did an episode at Vision this particular past year to tell us how little he works in the business, and and it's a brilliant episode because he obviously he's delegated to his people, but he's really adopting the philosophy who not how. And when you want to work 7 days a week, it's your how. I got to do this, I got to do this. But if you really want to, you've got to learn to delegate to your people. And for many business owners, that's a tough thing to do.
Yes, it's hard to let go of that control. And the more control I release and relinquish, well, the less I am required to do. And I find that for me, freedom of time is very important. So I choose to trust my staff and let them make the mistakes and give them the control to succeed or fail.
So let's talk about referrals, everyone. To me, I think that's one really great way to not only, depending on how you do what you do, but if a loyal customer can make that recommendation to a friend.
Hey, Carm,
Yeah, Ross.
apologize, but I want to yank us back just for a second.
Sure.
Something Vinny said is really important. If you're trying to work more on the business than in it, and you're trying to step back away, like he's talking about, it's really important that you allow the staff to make mistakes. They're going to. You did. We did. Um, you can't fret and look over their shoulder and try to prevent every mistake. Otherwise, they're not going to grow and advance. It's just going to seem like you're micromanaging them. I thought that was a great point. So sorry, referrals.
It is a great point. Thank you
Mhm.
so much, Russell. You never ever worry about interrupting us or me. Great point. Jamie, any great stories about delegating, letting people find their own way?
Well, I have had to hand over many of my duties to Megan, and it was hard to let go of Google and Facebook, but there's not time not only for Megan not to do it all. I mean, we use outside people that she manages now. And it's hard to let those things go and say, but what if this happens or there's this? You know what? It's pretty much okay. I made mistakes. So
Right.
it happens, and I think the business is bigger than a mistake or two we might make.
That's a
And
great point. The business is bigger than a mistake or two that I may make.
I'm not that important.
I mean, that's a quotable quote from this episode. I mean, that's a great learning. I think there's a lot of people that know that, but every once in a while, when you rehear that, it shocks you a little, and maybe it sets you straight.
And I don't know that I could have said that and meant that a couple years ago. And maybe going through this construction does that because it's like, oh yeah, every single new window you put in that window washer scratched and they're all ruined. And oh yeah, you ruined my employee's toolbox. And it's like, this can be fixed with it's just, you could get way up to here and it's like, this stuff, it's all fixable. It's maybe not fixable this minute, but maybe it's because my head was going to explode if I kept letting things get to me that much.
You two, everyone here on this show, and I have to thank Emily Beeler for bringing together this incredible. Everyone smiles. You have all kinds of energy, and so we couldn't more aptly named this episode of "Have Fun and Grow Your Business." Just excellent stuff. So, any referral stuff, Jamie, Megan, that you guys are doing?
We definitely thank people for when they refer somebody because we ask everybody, who referred them or how they heard about us. And I think I hesitated saying refer a friend and we'll give you this much money. The way my mind works very much is I'm going to forget and then I will have not done something I promised, or I don't want any potential customers to think someone's only referring them for the reward, which I don't think I mean, that's my brain, and I don't think that's accurate. But what we do now is just in Shop-Ware, just put a little, in the customer notes, who they referred and that there's a $20 credit. And then I try and call them and say, thank you for sending so-and-so to us. We'll take great care of them. And you have, I don't know if it's 20 or how much it is, credit on your account. And then we also can email that to them from Shop-Ware or text them even better from Shop-Ware with it on there, because then maybe that helps with retention a little bit.
That's a great point. Use your software to
Hmm.
manage what you say you want to do.
Hmm.
Does it? I want to go a little further, Megan. Do you have anything else to add on the referral thing for the shop?
I actually don't. No.
Uh, Russell, what are you
She
doing
hit
for
it.
referrals, Russell?
Well, it was interesting what Jamie was talking about.
Oh,
I
I have
tried
one.
that. I had these cards made up, and $20, and I didn't want to reward the customers much for the same reason she said. And
Mhm.
so it was refer somebody and hand them this card, and they get $20 off the person you referred.
Oh, I like that.
I thought it was a great idea. Just didn't really work too well. So
I've had
um,
some of those.
I like to tell my staff, not all of my ideas are great ones. And it just, I don't know why I thought it would be successful. That same card that I mentioned earlier that we give our new customers, it has a place on there if somebody referred them to write their name. And then I
Mhm.
ask my staff to be sure and follow up with them. What's funny, at least half, we can't find that name in our database. So somebody has referred that isn't even our client.
Uh-huh.
And I learned that years ago. I mean, we would get referred by this or that person, maybe at the gas station if somebody was traveling. Like, well, they've never been in here. And I was heard or read somewhere when people, just humans, when we are asked a question, we like to know the answer. So they're being asked, and so the reputation carries the day on some of those
Mhm.
referrals. People like to know, well, if I send them there, I know they're going to get taken care of. So, it works.
Great point. Vinny, I want to ask you, because I know you've got a great referral program, but I want to remind everybody why you're here. It's the Educational Forum number 3. Have fun and grow your business. We do this every month with Shop-Ware. So glad you are by. Vinny, tell us about your referral.
We kind of use the same system as Jamie, using Shop-Ware to remind us.
Vinny, I want to hold you because there's an awful lot of static going on, and if I
Is that any better?
no, if I kind of let you go, I don't think we would have heard anything that you were saying. Try it again.
Anything? Is it better now?
No, it's not. I think we're having. Are you doing Wi-Fi? Do you have a laptop or a tablet you could move around? Maybe we can get a little better signal going. Let me hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead. Let's do something.
Okay, so same as Jamie there. We use Shop-Ware to remind us, because that's the trickiest part, is when you offer a program that you follow up on it and make sure that you do what you're going to offer. But we have a $20 Grateful Gardens gift card, which is a local restaurant. And so we give that to both the client and whoever they referred, so they can go to lunch together and they can talk about how awesome we are and, have a good meal at a local restaurant.
Does it work?
Yeah, absolutely. It works great. We get a lot of referrals, and a lot of, the people that do refer us that like the program continue to refer us. So we have some really strong referral partners out there.
Yeah.
Simply because of that program.
I can see how people would value that more. We also have a rebate program, but then I say, well, you'll get this check, but it's not for anywhere fun. It's for here. So, while it's nice like that we give them money off when they come in here, I can see that if we could maybe find something like that and actually where they could go and share, that's like oh, this is fun. I get to go try this, or it's a little bit of pampering rather than just $20 off your next oil change. I like that idea.
Yeah, it's more, you can grasp it, you can feel it. It's an experience that they can have versus some money that they saved.
Yeah, it's
So
more of a perk.
Yeah. If they don't use the certificate, do you save any money, or is it cash you've already laid out?
That's tricky. Yeah, that's something I want to talk to the owner of that restaurant about, friends, because I don't know how many people have just those sitting in their wallet. So it's a good question, and I wanted to I thought about that when writing this. That what I need to do is, when I send clients there, they get the $20, and then he charges me.
Right.
Yeah.
Not until they go there.
That would be the best way to do it. No breakage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you know that they went, right?
Exactly. Very true.
Wow. See, now there we go. We've got a great customer referral program with, zero, defects. Yeah, Jamie?
Can I go back to when Meg said, no, we don't do other referrals? Megan was actually responsible for us sponsoring a podcast. And I don't know if it's Eric Zane, who has a filthy mouth and a great big heart, and his people love him. But when you sponsor a podcast, they don't say, and go to Irvine's Auto Repair, da, 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 da. It's like, he'll say, oh my gosh, I went there, because he actually has become a customer of ours as well. He will go on and on about us, or usually on and on about something embarrassing Megan has done and shared with him. That I can't even tell you how much that costs, but I know it's far less expensive than any radio or TV would be.
Yeah.
And we also just like him and want to support him. But he is a hard sell referral on things for us that you would never get through radio or TV.
Yeah, it's a great idea to think about the local podcasts. I mean, there's every city probably has 100 of local people talking about cities and the arts and business, and to be part of that. And you're right, you're getting more than probably your minutes worth of time. Yeah, That's it.
Then he come and he MCs our car show. The past couple of Christmases, he's done a huge Christmas dinner giveaway where people just got to drive up and they do it here.
Yeah.
So there's all kinds of his listeners here. TV comes here because he was a media person. He was on Free Beer and Hot Wings. So he kind of has a following. And he also does stuff that we'd like to be involved with.
Got it. So we're promoting the fact that that Jamie, Megan, and Vinny use Kukui, and that Russell uses Broadly, and that there's they're great add-ons to Shop-Ware, and you guys are using them, I know, to your fullest. But I want to go into one other thing, and Russ, it may have been you that brought it up, or maybe who said they just hired the intern?
Vinny.
It was Vinny. QCs, Vinny. I mean, if there's a way to ensure the customer is going to come back, and that is to do the nines, if you will, on making sure that the work we did is right and the car is clean and ready to go. And so many people put the bottle of water in there. And let's talk about the QC process. And do you use Shop-Ware to help you do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So Shop-Ware has we've detailed our quality control process. And so it's accountability for my staff as well. So if they check that they looked under the hood and wiped those marks clean and washed the windows and we do a branded chocolate. So we have a local candy company, and they make a little special chocolate for us that we put on their dashboard. So Shop-Ware helps in the sense that if we check those boxes, my staff is now held accountable that they did those things, which can be, really important. But with quality control for us, I mean, the client drops their car off, and if they pick it up, it's in cleaner condition than they dropped it off. That's all they know. They don't know that you changed their oil, or they can't see or feel what you've done unless it was a drivability concern or something of that nature. But when they get in and they just feel better because maybe they don't even know, but their windows are clean and they can see out of them, but it might not even consciously recognize it. It's on a subconscious level that a clean car and those details are felt.
And it seems to me that the best shop operators that are using Shop-Ware, that have made it part of their system and their process, are dazzling their customers. And their customers love coming there. And I mean, that's like you're creating fun through process and systems.
And it's so true. And what kind of an industry? I mean, automotive industry. When has it ever been fun? When have people enjoyed coming in? And we're starting to do that. It's amazing that people can come into an auto repair shop and leave happy.
I don't know why I go there, but I love going there. And, well, let me see. I ate McDonald's on the travel the other day. I got a French fry and some crumbs on my seat. I got to get over to Co-Auto because I know it's going to go away.
Yeah. I mean, that is a subconscious thing too, or conscious thought, but that's just, it's stored in their mind, and so that's a very huge part of our process.
That feels daunting to me because I think we're getting closer to being able to hire someone to do that. We do the QC, but I if you wouldn't mind sharing your QC inspection, I'd love to see that too, because I think that could be something we could implement. And if we can then hire more of an intern that's what they do, that could be awesome.
Right.
Our intern never did that until we hired her as that position. Mm-hmm. And I took that position and bumped him up into a oil service role, mm-hmm. a lube service role. But you do want somebody that has a good eye for detail, and you do want somebody that understands automotive, because if they're doing a quality control and they don't understand what they're looking at, then what good is that? And the quality control isn't so much to test drive the vehicle and make sure we fix it appropriately. That is more on the duty of the technician, because they did the work and they understand the work that was done, and they're they drove it first, so they need to drive it when it's fixed. The quality control is just more making sure there's no grease marks on the interior, exterior, washer fluid's full, oil caps are tight, everything that you can see from popping the hood. And it has been a full-time position for us for few years now, that we just hire somebody to do just that position.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the check-in process as well. It's not just the exit, it's the walk arounds through Shop-Ware, it's the photos, it's any notes for any damage that we're recognizing. So that, once again, a good eye to detail, because you don't want to miss a chipped windshield or a damaged wheel that now you're getting blamed for, simply because your quality control missed that. So having somebody that has really good eye to detail is important.
So comment about this. You asked Jamie to be able to see that, and think about the value that Shop-Ware provides this incredible network of shop owners that are all using this similar shop management system, and the Facebook groups that can work back and forth with this. I love the idea of an intern, and as you say, you took that individual and you moved them up in the company, and you moved them into a production apprentice role, Vinny. That's a word, two words that I've been using a lot lately, because I heard it and I was so impressed with the word production apprentice as being like a GS person, right? And to think about how many interns I know that are out there, but we're failing to go to the high schools or the colleges and bring in some interns into our business, that who knows wherever they could go into a full-blown apprentice program, or as a great student and someone who wants to come inside your business. So that's one of the beauties of us talking about this, having this on our Facebook page for Shop-Ware, and having you guys interact like you are. Good stuff. Thank you.
Yeah, I would really appreciate if you have a job posting or the duties. Especially, our techs do the check-in process right now. And part of that came about because, it depends on how many staff you have and what you're doing. It's like, are we going to have this person leave and walk out and come back when the phone's ringing, or just the text going out there anyway? But I can see we're kind of maybe ready for that, and how that person could be. They don't have to be super mechanically inclined, but did that door squeak when you opened it? Because I think that could make a big impression. Is that dash dusty? That's easy to take care of.
Well,
So
good.
thanks, Vinny.
Really good stuff. So let's talk a little bit about, having fun inside the company. We talked about it a little bit, about boosting morale inside the company. Can we just spend a few minutes on that? Megan, let me ask you to go first.
Yeah, I think that Irvine's does a great job of boosting morale. We talked about earlier, the meetings that we started having. That's been going on for well over a year at this point, maybe even 2 years, but giving everybody a safe space to talk, and opening up lines of communication. I think that's a huge way to boost morale, is that everybody has a voice and everybody's opinion does matter. The things like the concerts we went to, most people who work here have dogs. A couple of weeks ago, we went to our local ballpark, and it was dog night. So it wasn't just our families getting together and doing something fun. We brought our dogs, which just added another beautiful layer of chaos. So that was really fun. On Wednesdays, we do coffee Wednesday. So, one of us, well, not anymore. We have a really cool new coffee machine since construction, but, one of us would leave the shop on Wednesdays and go get everyone coffee. Um, we do lunch every Friday, and it's just a time that, like, we can foster us being together. And what I think about working here is that we like each other. Even I like my mom all the time, even though she is literally 10 feet away from me 40 hours a week. Everybody here genuinely likes each other and likes to be here. We all eat lunch together every day. We have a nice, beautiful new break room, where we might be watching marching bands walking backwards and falling over each other, or people falling off bikes, or just talking about life. the morale stays high because we all like each other and everyone treats each other with a great deal of kindness and respect. It's very organic. But then there are things like concerts and ball games and lunches thrown on top of it.
Love it. Thank you for that. Jamie?
And I think part of that is the hiring process, where before we hire anybody, they come and work with us for a day. And if anybody here says no, they don't get hired. And that person also might say no. You
Yeah.
know, we don't all need to be the same, but I think in part we get along well. Everybody that works here, I think, likes who they live with at home, and they're generally happy people. So, maybe if you weren't, maybe you'd rather work with other people who want to badmouth who they live with. And sometimes I think let's not be too narrow-minded, except I think that's why people eat lunch together. And it's not, you certainly don't have to. Sometimes there's things you got to go take care of during lunch. But I think they choose to. And I know the other thing is that with this construction, we've always had metal lockers, and this is going to make me cry. But Eric said, I don't want them to have metal lockers. I want them to have a nice locker room. So it looks like a pro athlete's locker room. He had his brother build these beautiful wood enclosures. We had name tags, made with their names on them, and then it has their ASE credentials on it. And we didn't put the sign on it yet, but Eric wants one outside that just says "Where the best get dressed," because we value them and we wanted that to be nice for them.
A huge takeaway. I can't wait to get a tour of that new facility.
Anytime.
Oh, are you ready? Oh, thank God you are ready.
Well, not quite.
See, there you go. We're
Almost. Almost.
yeah. She waffles. Yeah, no. Oh my God. Russell, how about you?
I can take some tips from them. we don't do quite that much formally. As I mentioned, we do a monthly lunch with staff, but daily we just there's a lot of laughter in the shop, and it's great. And the same thing, the guys all get along. There is not a bad apple in the shop. There's not somebody that's constantly got a bad attitude, and the guys joke and get along together. So again, I tell them all the time, it's okay to have fun at work. I love hearing the laughter. And so it's the daily personal interactions that I think keep morale up. And then, of course, catching people doing things right, just stopping by and, saying, hey, good job. Or service advisor will let me know that so-and-so knocked out a job, that same day where it didn't seem possible, but the client needed it. And so you just tell them, hey, Joe told me you did a really, really good job on that blazer today. Thank you. So I think it's the little things that kind of add up, and letting them know that we appreciate them. I always acknowledge birthdays, and then we started funny little things. We just print up a nice certificate that we give them, and we gave them a frame on their work anniversary. So you've been with us 7 years or 8 years, or so we do a photo, put it up on Facebook, and they always get a good number of comments from the public, and it really means a lot to a lot of the staff. There's I'm sure a few are like whatever, but most of them really appreciate it. And it's very, very simple, just something to keep track of. So just acknowledgement. People like to be acknowledged.
What a great idea. It's under the Did You Know campaign. Did you know that Charlie's been with us 7 years?
Yeah, of course, you make a big deal out of it.
Yeah,
We've got, people 20, 27, 32. I just celebrated a 32 year,
Wow.
17 years, just day before yesterday.
Wow.
And, it's amazing. They'll just like 17 years. Wow. Time sure flies. But
when you're having fun,
right? So yeah, we're really blessed that we do have a lot of long tenured employees.
Yeah.
It's a real blessing.
This is going to be a great ending. Vinny, take it home for us.
Well, I'm going to just have to agree with everything that's been said, but for me, incentivizing and morale comes through incentivizing, and that's through like specific needs and specific care. Everybody's needs are different, and you don't know what they are until you've talked to each person individually and really digging into, is it time with their family? Is it time alone? without their family? Um, is it money? What is it that brings their personal morale up? And then individually, if everybody's being taken care of, then the morale of the shop raises. And for me, I've recognized that the morale in my shop is up quite high, especially when I'm really taking care of their health and wellness. I've had massage therapists come in and do chair massage. I've had chiropractor care, send my staff to chiropractic care, getting them into the gym, whatever it is they need. I've had one of my staff members, unfortunately, going through a breakup, and they have a child, and he needed money for an attorney. So, his morale, you should have seen it skyrocket when I got him the best attorney in Reno. So morale is definitely incentivized for me through specific needs and specific care.
And Tracy remembered you talking about breath work. Remember that?
Yes, breath work. We do that once a month. We do yoga or breath work with the whole staff, and it's really that's dynamic. It's different, and people feel good when they're done with it. If you've ever tried breath work, just give it a shot. You feel amazing when you're done with it. And so that just starts off that particular day just on a higher vibration.
Well, these are great ideas. Thank you all for being here on the Shop-Ware Educational Forum, our number 3 this year so far. Have fun growing your business now. And by the way, thanks for spending the time to watch this. Share it with your friends, because there's so many great tidbits that came out of this. And I think we may have shown that having fun and growing your business seems to me, from what we've heard, it's all about what happens on the inside. Because if there's love on the inside, trust me, your customers know it. It gets out there. There's a vibe and a feeling. And that whole fun thing, whatever it is that you're doing in the public realm, I believe gets pulled from the core culture of the business.
For sure. I want to thank the other panelists. I've got 6 notes that I made while everybody was talking. Like, yeah, we could try that.
That's why we're here.
I have lots of notes, so thank you.
It's
You can always
amazing.
learn.
Right.
When I do these, I get so many emails back that says, "Carm, thanks for having me on the panel, but I think I learned more than I talked about." So, so happy. Jamie Carlson, Megan Dinoff from Irvine's Auto Repair and Grand Rapids Hybrids and EV. Russell McLeod from Accurate Automotive Attention, 3 stores in Yuma, Arizona. And Vinny Lucido, Co-Auto, Reno, Nevada, who's on the road again. But thank you for checking in and being with us. We sure appreciate, Shop-Ware appreciates all your business and all of our great future customers that are coming on board.
Thanks.
Have a great day,
you.
everyone.
Thanks for having us on, Carm.
All right, bye-bye.
Thanks, Carm.
Always a pleasure.